Hello everyone, this is Agony333. And today's movie review is going to be over a film from 2006 called Running Scared. But first, I thought I would mention something that I had seen on my phone, which is another unfortunate event that's occurred. Apparently, Leota Has Passed. Which is, like I said, it really sucks whenever anybody talented, anybody that's really awesome like that's passed. I mean, he was the leading actor in Goodfellas, which is a marvelous film. Highly recommend that. I mean, if you like gangster movies and stuff, like Godfather, Scarface, and things like that, you would really like Goodfellas. Really good film. But not only that, but he was the voice actor for Tommy Vercetti in GTA Vice City, which is a fucking classic, a great game. You know, to me, one of the best Grand Theft Autos made. So, yeah, maybe check out his, filmography, stuff like that, support, yeah, his, roles and things. But let us go into the film now. Let me set down the heavy kind of moment, I guess, and let's go into the actual film, what we're here for, Running Scared. Which, like I mentioned, is a movie from 2006. It is rated R. It is 2 hours and 2 minutes. And I pretty much, to give, I guess, I don't know if I'd say backstory, but this film I pretty much watched on its release. So, like, when I was, in 2006, I would have been pretty young. I was a kid and stuff. But I watched this movie when it came out, and I really liked this film. I thought it was really great. Loved the action, the fast-paced, nature of the film, the acting, the story. All that stuff was really well done to me. But not many people ever really talked about it. And of course, I'm going to be like last time and be, sorry, swigging from my fucking energy drink here. But, yeah. It was a really great film, but almost like nobody that I knew of really heard of it and stuff. So I guess it's another underrated film, I would say. It stars Paul Walker from, the Fast and the Furious and stuff, which, he also obviously has passed, a few years ago and stuff. But he was a great actor. I didn't, sadly, get to see all of the Fast and the Furious movies. I've only seen, like, the first 3. So I've seen Fast and Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, and then Tokyo Drift, which were all great films. I just need to catch up. It's another series I'm behind on. But yeah, it stars him, so that's another thing. If you like Paul Walker, if you like his acting, you'll probably like this movie. But let me go and do a couple trivia things before I mention what it's actually fucking about. And I like the trivia for this, well, the first one anyways. And apparently the F word is used 330 times, which I didn't really notice it. Like I mentioned before, I don't seem to notice excessive, use of curse language, words, shit like that. Probably because I use it pretty, prolifically and shit. But yeah, it's always a great thing when the fuck barrier's been broken that many times. But yeah, it's been apparently used 330 times in this film. And here's another thing that I think is also, indicative of it being an underrated film. And that is that it apparently made poorly in the box office and, in general, money-wise and stuff. So it seems like this movie is one of those that flew under the radar and really wasn't given the recognition it deserved. Another one. Because, yeah, I've mentioned quite a few movies that I feel like were either underrated or for whatever reason nobody ever really paid much attention to it. Probably because of releases of so many other great movies and things. But apparently Quentin Tarantino really liked this film. And I mean, Quentin Tarantino's films are fucking great too. But apparently he really liked this film. So, what's this fucking movie about before we actually get into some other things? Well, it's pretty much about Paul Walker's character. And he, he has a family and stuff, but he's with the wrong sort of crowd, a crime family kind of thing of sorts. And when a firearm is used in a particular crime, which could be very incriminating and pretty much ruin, the lives of quite a few people, he's supposed to dispose of it, but ends up not being able to. And pretty much his, his son has a friend that's a next door neighbor. And that kid ends up getting a hold of this gun and running off with it. And it pretty much turns into a scavenger hunt from hell to find this firearm and have There's like all sorts of crazy fucking insane things that happen in this movie. And that's one of the notes I put here, is it's probably like the craziest 24 hours fucking ever that takes place in this film, one of them. Just because of the amount of people that, you know, paths are crossed with that are fucking having some really crazy shit go down, as well as just, it's just crazy the amount of shit in this movie. And that's another thing, is for a 2-hour movie, you don't even notice that it's 2 hours, at least for me, because it's such a fast-paced, you know, moving film, and there's just so much going on, and it has so much, you know, energy and, like I said, fast-paced to it, and it's entertaining so much so that you don't even notice it's like a 2-hour movie because it just breezes by so damn fast. And here's another thing that I put, is that to me it kind of gives off kind of like Max Payne vibes. And that's another thing, I mean, if you like, you know, that game series, you'd probably like this too, you know, from Rockstar, the Max Payne games. I've, you know, always liked those games. I mean, they're not exactly my favorite from Rockstar, but they're still good games, good story and stuff. And another positive here I felt, apologies, is that the different camera shots and that the style that this film has really lends well to it. Because, yeah, this is another one where they kind of do some unique camera shots and things that, at least to me, kind of stand out. And that's another thing that lends well to giving this film kind of its own vibe, its own kind of style, and its own kind of feel to it, which is really well done. Let me see here what else I should put before spoilers. But yeah, I put here the amount of fucked up people in this movie is unreal. Because that's the truth. There's so many fucking people that are into some crazy things, and just, I can't probably really elaborate much until spoiler territory. But to me, that was upon this viewing, because I haven't seen it probably, you know, since the mid-2000s. You know, like 2006. Like, I probably haven't seen it since maybe a couple years after that was probably the last time I had seen it. So, I mean, it's been probably well over a decade since I've seen this film. And this time, just watching just the amount of crazy shit was just unreal to me. But it's still entertaining and a good movie. And let me get me another fucking smoke. And another thing I guess I'll put that's not really a spoiler is I thought the end credits were done really well too. It's done in like a, I don't know if I'd say comic book kind of art style, but kind of sort of like that. Just really creative, really awesome. You know, for the girl with the dragon tattoo, I mentioned how the opening is really creatively well done. And this one, you know, the end credits are the kind of standout here, which kind of reminiscent to me of the Silent Hill films, end credits and stuff. Like, I love whenever a movie, you know, and the people that created it go out of their way and really put some cool art style into an opening or an ending credits sequence. When it's done awesome like those examples I gave, it just really helps the film to, yeah, have some extra creativity there and make it stand out, at least to me. But yeah, I put here fast-paced, intense as hell, really awesome. And I guess that's all I'm going to get to for this segment of this fucking review. And I thought that I would give it a rating of 8 because it is a really awesome film, a really underrated one. And like I've said to you guys, if you like Paul Walker, if you like really good action movies, a decent story, just a crazy amount of crazy shit going on, if any of that sounds appealing to you, you know, Max Payne vibes, you know, any of that kind of stuff, then I bet you'd probably like this movie. And since it's a sadly underrated one, highly recommend it. But alright, let's get to spoilers! Alright, so the few spoilers that I'm going to mention here. As I take a drink, apologies. Because when you're talking at length like this, you need some kind of beverage to keep you fucking going. So, what I put here is I love it when Oleg taunts his father. I don't know, I really like that in a movie. Whenever there's some fucking bumbling asshole like Oleg's father was. And you know, either the character, no matter who they are, they just don't give a shit. And they're just like, fuck you. And that's exactly what Oleg does. He just doesn't even care. I don't know, I like that, how he stood up to... He had the courage to say fuck you to that asshole and stand up to him. So, I like that. And here's the thing that I love for the spoilers. What I find particularly fucked up about this movie And that's another thing. I can't recall if I had seen it on spoiler lists. Not spoiler lists. Disturbing lists. I don't really find this film that disturbing, but I mean, I will say it's fucked up just because of this thing here that I put, and I felt like, to me, what I found fucked up about it is how much it involves children, really. You know, these characters don't really leave them out of what the hell is going on. You know, it's like the father, you know, Paul Walker, that, I don't know the character's name, I apologize. I mean, you think he would have left his son at home. I don't know why the hell you'd want to have your kid around in this crazy shit like this. But, he did so. And that's what I'm saying, is like throughout most of the movie, really no matter how decadent and crazy and fucked up things get, it always seems like there's a kid around involved in all of it. And to me, that's, like I said, the fucked up thing. And so maybe some people might find this a disturbing film just for that fact alone, that you're seeing kids involved in most of what's going on. Which, I mean, other films have done that too, but I thought I would mention that here, that I thought that was kind of crazy. Another thing that I put here was the family. That whole sequence is fucked up, and what I mean by that is the especially screwed up people that decide, I guess, to kidnap children and film sequences of some sort of fucked up thing going on. Yeah, they're really fucked up. Even the home, even that apartment was really creepy as fuck. I mean, even the aesthetic, the visuals of the apartment is a fucking red flag as it is. But that's the other thing that I put here. Just the amount of fucked up people in this movie is unreal. Because you're just seeing, you know, these characters go from one terrible situation to another terrible situation to another really fucked up situation. And it just does not cease to continue down that path. But I think in a way, that's sort of what makes this film entertaining and its own thing, is because, I mean, it's just non-stop kind of action in a way. I mean, there's movies that are more action-packed than this one, or more fast-paced than this one. But this movie, you know, has enough characters, enough situations like that makes it as crazy and entertaining as it is. But let me see here. More bullet points, more fucking things. Oh, speaking of that said family, I really love how Paul Walker, I'm just going to say that because, like I said, I don't know the fucking character's name. I really love the moment when his wife shows up and forces herself into the apartment. And that whole way that she handles that, I fucking loved that. I remember loving that as a kid, and I love that now. How she just doesn't let them push her around or, you know, pull any bullshit. She knows what's going on, and she does not hesitate to, you know, get the fuck in there. And I just love the way she handled everything. Even, you know, the whole her shooting across the hall bit is great, at least to me. But yeah, so there's that as well. And I think that actually may be the final bullet point and stuff here that I put. Really good acting, I feel like. I mean, even you know, the kids that were involved, the acting there was really well done. I mean, sometimes in some movies, you know, because that's one thing I'll say about the Silent Hill movie. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I didn't feel like the acting in particular for, now what the hell's her name? The little girl in Silent Hill, fuck, man, it's Sherry or Cheryl? Yeah, I didn't feel like her acting was the best, and so that's another thing, is sometimes whenever you have a child actor, sometimes their acting isn't going to be the best. But I feel like this movie, you know, acting across the board was good, including the kids that were in this movie. So there's that as well. But I think that is all of the bullet points, all of the things that I have to get into. And yeah, so I hope that all of you maybe found an awesome film to check out, or another cool series to check out, because I've mentioned quite a few of them in this review when I was giving examples and stuff. Hopefully you found something awesome to check out, and I hope that you all have an amazing, fan-fucking-tastic day, and that if you go on a scavenger hunt, it is more of a fun, peaceful and relaxing kind, rather than a fucking crazy one like this film portrays. But I hope you have an awesome, amazing day regardless. And this is Agony 333. Fucking peace! Have an awesome one.